the function body, what we can say in other languages, double me, it will take one variable x equal to, now instead of writing x plus x, I have written x into 2. You can say x plus x also, no problem. Okay. Now, don't write this line, I have commented this line, and save your file, whatever is your function name, save file with the same name. Okay. So, sorry, double me, yes. Have you done it? So, after doing saving the file, you come back to your prompt. Let's see, we'll load the file. Okay. So, you should get compiled. Please repeat. What to repeat? Okay. I'll just repeat explanation of file. Okay, I'm saying comments are again not required, right? So, function name, I want this function to double the number given as input to it. So, if x is 1, it will double the number, 1 into 2, 2. If x is 4, it will say double of it is 4 into 2, 8. So, it takes one input and gives you one output. So, input should be of integer type. If you want to take float numbers, then you have to write here float type. Okay, so we are trying initially for integer. So, one input of integer type and it will give the output after execution that also will be of integer type. So, function name space the input variable that it takes equal to the how we will execute that function. Okay, so x into 2, what is that you want to do? What the stuff is, right? So, after saving it as .hs file, so you will save with the same name so that you can call that function. So, you go to this prompt, prelude prompt, load the file for compilation. So, it should show OK. So, once you get that OK, now I'm not giving the output of the function to main. So, how do I call it? So, let's call whether it works here. Let's see, double me and x, let's say 3. So, I'm passing an argument 3 to that function. So, what happens? It takes the value of x is equal to 3, multiplies it by 2 and returns integer number 6. Right? Now, if I want to use main, so by main what I can do is, I can just give a fixed value here. So, print the result of function double me. So, double number 4, right? Double the number 4 and give the result. So, let's load the file again and then say main. So, now it is giving 4 into 2, 8. So, I can divert the results to standard input output, or I can call the function by its name. So, there are two ways we can execute this way. I hope I'm clear. Everyone got it? Okay, so we go to next file. We'll go a little quickly now. Close this file. Let's open another file. So now we will take one function called double s. So what is that this function is doing? Okay. Let's cut this line. Okay. I'll increase the font. So you write another function, open the notepad. Now double s function, double us means it takes two arguments, two variables x and y, Both are integers. So see in the function definition, it is saying take integer, first integer, then take second integer, and then give the result which is also integer. So it is said that in Haskell, when we define a function, it is right associated. It is associated on the right side. From this side to this side we go. Okay. So first take this, then take this, then you get this. Whereas in the function here, when you application of the function when is there, it is left associated. It is left associated. Okay. So what does it mean? It first take one parameter, double us of x. So something like this. How it evaluates a function? It takes this function double x, returns another function double of x, then takes second argument, okay, which is y. So applies double us x to second argument y. So it is left associated. So this concept you have to teach students. I'm not going to go into detail here. Okay. So left association and right association we have to teach to students. It is very much given in all the references, books. Okay. So this was our file. I will just save double S. These are just comment. This just comment symbol I have used. Let's see it works. Okay. Double S. Let's load the function double S. Double S. Okay. And now we have to call this function because we have not given the output into main, right? We are not displaying the output. If function is, we call it's a lazy evaluator, right? Haskell is supposed to be very lazy evaluation. Unless we tell him to do some certain things, it doesn't do. So we will call the function now double us, and now we have to give two arguments. So we will give 5 and 6. Let's see if it works. So what it did addition. What we have written? It doubled the first number, doubled the second number, and gave the addition. So 5 into 2, 10. 10 plus 12. 10 plus 12, yes, 22. Right. So it gave us this particular output. Fine. Okay, let's see one more function. The same function I have written it for float. So you can see here instead of integer, you need not run it. You just run it from here. Okay, and I can either call it to the main or I'll just call it to the main. So function name is double us1. Okay. So I'll just go back, load that function. Fail. There is something. Some name mistake is there. Double us1. Okay. So there is a mistake. Fine. So let's load it again. Okay. So now I will say main. Okay, so it gave me 73.8. So I have given two numbers here, fractional numbers. 2.4. No, my file is, this is the new file with the new function double S1 I have written. And double S was previous file. Okay. So I have given directly numbers here. If I repeat once again, if I don't want to give fixed numbers, fixed arguments, then I don't give this function. I just save this. Okay. I comment that line. I again load that function. And now I call the function by name so that I can accept the arguments double S1 And let's give some fractional numbers. 3.4, 7.8. So it will square these numbers and add them, right? Because in the definition of the function, we have said float, two float inputs and one float output. Okay. I hope all of you are doing this. Meanwhile, you are doing, I'll just see which next function to take. It's almost 3:30. I'll take just 1-2 functions more. Just a minute. We will take a factorial function now. Okay. So this is there in your syllabus, right? How will you find? Oh, there's something else open. 1 minute. Factorial n. Okay. Let's look here how it is defined. So this is the program which you have to give to students. So we know that we can explain concept of recursion. Factorial can be calculated by n factorial formula, or we can also use this formula, n into factorial of n minus 1, right? So we can do it either using recursion or without recursion. So this program is with recursion, so we can say a recursive function. So definition, I have defined, given a name, factor n. So it takes one integer, okay, and gives one output, factorial of some number it gives. Then now this is called as a guard function. By giving, when I use pipe, it's called as a, we can give the condition by using guard function. So factor n, okay, and this is the condition if n equal to 0. So it's like that. I can also write here, I'll just change little syntax, I won't save it. We can use if statement here. So factorial of number n is a argument to this function. If n equal to 0, then it should be equal to, value of the function should be equal to 1, right? And then I write else with the cap. So I won't do here now any changes. Else, okay, and then we have to write the second condition, else. If we will not write this now, else you do, just do this, else do this. Okay, so this is what it would be. It would look. So currently we are not, so by using this pipe function, it simplifies the thing. It is just another way to give the condition the function body. Okay, so we are saying the first condition is if given number n, if it equal to 0, so this is a condition, then the function value is 1. So with this pipe we can say second condition is if n is not equal to 0, then what to do? Then you use this formula. Okay, so first number, if someone enters 1, n is equal to 1, then it will be 1 into factorial of 0, where factorial of 0 is already defined. So all of us are used to this program, factorial function. So let's say I won't save this because I have made change. You save this as .hs file and then go back to prompt. Just load this program, factor n. Okay. So now I store the result. If you see in the main function, I'm storing the result in the main function. So